Hi, I'm Reese Robinson, and this is
Nicholas Mastrangelo.
And we're interns with the Martha's Vineyard Film Festival. Today we're hitting the streets to ask people about the legal system as it pertains to our upcoming movie, Gideon's Army.
Our legal system?
Yeah.
I have no opinions. I don't know.
No opinion
My
on
wife's the attorney. You should ask her.
Do you have an answer for that? That's a tough one.
I don't know what to tell you.
I think there are flaws.
I think a lot of things are outdated. A lot of our founding principles of the legal system were developed when we had a small group of people and it worked for that group of people.
There's a good balance between the rights of people not to be hassled in unfair ways, and I think that there's basically pretty good procedural justice here. So I think in those respects the legal system works well, and it also protects the greatest good for the greatest number, which is the public. So as a general matter, the older I get, the more I think it works, yes.
Here's an issue that I can tell you. You only get appointed a public defender if it's a criminal trial and you're under a certain amount of money. And the certain amount of money that you have to be under is really low. So a lot of people who can't afford an attorney will be, they're stuck because they can't afford an attorney, but they're not under the crazy low level, which is like outrageously low. And if you're in a criminal trial, you don't get appointed a public defender no matter what.
Really?
So, yeah. So that's called civil Gideon, and people are like trying to get it.
I'd say they try. How it actually ends up, though, yeah. It's questionable how fair it actually is.
Yeah, that's not fair at all, because if you have the money, you most likely you might get away with it.
You get a fair trial either way, I would think.
So you get a fair trial
whether it's public or
even if
private.
you're paying millions of dollars for someone, you don't think it matters, really.
I really don't. As far as the law is the law. I don't think you could change it whether you've got $1 million or $2.
Versus people with obviously less means, and they trying to fight to survive, even though they're probably not even guilty, but they gotta prove that they're not guilty.
Public defenders are wildly underpaid, and they have a huge caseload, and it's impossible to do as much as they should be able to do. And so a private attorney is someone who's like hopefully on your case and being paid a ton of money to do, or a certain amount of money to do what they need to do.
Well, I don't think there's any guarantees in life in any possible universe. So I think, but I think compared to most countries, as a general matter, defendants who get public advocates are doing reasonably well, yes. And I support that. I think that's a good thing for the country to spend its resources on.
Civil Gideon, because it's
Like the name Gideon?
Gideon, yeah, because there was a guy named Gideon who wanted to get it.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
When you work as a public defender, you say to somebody, "Oh, I'm a public defender," and then they're like, "Well, what does that mean?" I defend people who are charged with committing crimes, and then they'll say, "How can you defend those people?" I tell them the truth. It's about the sanctity of human liberty and the cost of it if you want to take it.
Mr. Cassidy, having been found guilty of possession of crack cocaine, this court sentences you to 16 years.
You guys are doing the most difficult work in the most difficult places. I know one issue is certainly money, but another issue is that it's just too hard. I feel defeated.
This is all the money I have in the world right now.
We'll start with the non-indicted. It's a boatload of these.
I've been screwed around the first time by a public defender. And when they told me I had another one, I figured my life is completely over.
I wish I could say that we were gonna go in and win this case. I just don't know. And that's the God's honest truth.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
If you're trying to rescue people from hell, you do have to go to hell to do it, right? And if you don't, you won't rescue anyone.
I know, but keep your head up now. It's almost over. I promise you all true believers, true believers. I give you all you need. True believers, yeah.
they have the gall to say that this is not a big case. There are huge consequences. You want to take my liberty, you gotta do it right. And if you don't, acquit.
All right.
I don't see how you can do this work for any period of time and not begin to love it. Either this is your cause or this ain't.